All right, so here we are setting up, getting ready to start our day. And of course, there's these two guys sitting outside. So I guess I'll let them in.
Let's go! You guys, doors open! You guys are definitely serving beer, aren't you?
You can't get rid of us.
We've been out here all night almost camping.
What are we drinking today, guys?
These are
Don't know yet.
These are the Aussie twins. They keep coming back like a boomerang.
You definitely should not have tipped us off that you guys do this every Sunday.
Wait, don't turn the channel. You've tuned into High Gravity.
The show where we talk about beer, brewing, and bullshit.
Where the only thing we take seriously is the next round.
So grab a glass.
Fill it with something cold.
And enjoy the show.
All right, yeah.
So,
back again with the
You
twins.
gotta wait a second, though.
I got a very serious question for you, Daryl, and I got to know if this is planned. So, in the men's room, StarCraft Brewery.
Great way to start the day.
Oh, it's going to get worse. Hold on. If you're sitting on the can doing what you got to do, you look at the wall. There's
Yes,
a
they're
picture.
cheering for you.
They are. Okay.
Yes.
So to describe this looks like a Prohibition era picture when everybody's cheering like, "Yay, we can get drunk in public again." But you look at that picture. Go look.
I'm going to look.
Yeah. So you look at the wall from where you would be in the seated position,
And they're cheering
all
you
like,
taking a
"Yeah,
shit."
yeah." So that go in the stall.
Stall.
Yep, and then look to the left,
Let's all go in together.
Yeah.
or not.
That's exactly how we entered the building.
I mean, hey, you know,
So
celebrate
that was
little
intentional,
victories.
though.
Yes.
That's
definitely.
awesome.
So we try and not repeat breweries in styles of beer, but
Too often.
this one's pretty good, and we wanted to try. For last time we had the variant, so this time we want to try the
Yes.
base.
So
Base level.
last time we had some Three Floyds on the podcast, we were drinking Piers Javelin, which was a 2020.
It's so good, one of my favorites still.
Yeah, barrel-aged version of Dark Lord. It is was aged in the River Salt barrels. It's a fortified wine barrel. Now, what I have here today is actually the base of that variant. This is just 2020 Dark Lord with the black wax. So if you ever want to find, what year your Dark Lord is, just look at the wax and Google it, and it will tell you what year. So
Now, is this cleaned off, or is this something that they just do to clarify what year?
the wax, one for preserving, because it's an imperial stout, like 15%.
You must have done a
so.
lot of cleaning off then.
Oh yeah,
You just
All
scraped
right.
it
I cut the wax
Usually
up
that's a
beforehand.
pain in the butt to.
Yeah, I
to
cut it off
pop a
before the
top.
podcast started because sometimes it can be a little pain in the ass. But I've got a lot of these, and I've had them for a lot of them for some upwards of 7-8 years, and I don't know if the wax helps, but I've never had a problem. They've always tasted really good. They definitely age like fine wine, that's for sure.
Excellent.
So this is the just base Dark Lord 2020 edition. So 3 years aged.
I bet I could sell that guy an exhaust system.
Looking at his truck, I bet you can't.
Yeah.
I bet I have one to fit though.
But let's give it a pop here and see how she sounds.
Oh, beautiful.
You're so good at that.
I love that.
But he spilled beer on the countertop.
I spilled one drop.
That's even better though.
Well, that's one
Lick
for the
it.
fallen homies. Then.
Just those huge.
I would definitely lick that spot on the table.
It's not the bean flicker. Now, so these are pretty big bottles, so everyone gets
If you're not going to lick it, I'm going to come over there and lick it myself.
What? You just touching my beer?
I'm glad you finished that statement with the word beer.
Oh, did I break it?
Yes.
Where'd the glass
Oh,
go?
he did.
No way.
I saw two
Oh, it's
pieces
right there.
fall.
It's
Yeah.
right there.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So the
That's a hell of a.
the lip brew.
Wow.
That's the first time that's ever happened to me.
That's it.
So we'll have a little bit of a shard ice or
We'll just end up in the hospital.
It will
Not-
definitely come out a little bit bloody.
It looks like I got the whole piece here, so
Yeah.
hopefully that's the only piece.
So when I did that tasting of the Sam Adams stuff, when I got to the triple bock, so triple bock still had the factory seal on it, and when I opened it, I took the plasticky crap off. The cork had actually the whole top rim of the bottle had separated.
Wow.
Yeah, I bought that off of eBay.
Now this smells pretty good.
the smell,
I
yeah, the
did.
smell is incredible.
I bought a Sam Adams triple bock 94 off of eBay.
An empty bottle, right?
No, a full bottle.
An empty bottle, right?
No, you can't do it now. I mean, you couldn't do it then. I had bought another
Exactly.
bottle.
I think when I was trying to sell some stuff, you had to say empty
Yeah.
collector's bottle,
Yeah.
and then you get a beer.
what does AI say
Yeah.
about this, Daryl?
So there was another one I bought an Infinium. which was a hard to find one. And that one, so I bought it. The guy shipped it, and then eBay flagged it as a restricted item, locked his account, refunded the order, and then deleted him.
Oh,
So,
wow.
so about
I got
this
a free
beer.
bottle of beer.
I will say the base
About this
is
beer.
really
Yeah, it
good.
showed up. I got the bottle of beer and a full refund.
Nice going.
Yeah, this guy's he's high on utopias. So yeah,
I'm gonna have to wait till I
Dark
edit to hear
Lord.
what you just said.
the smell I get like a raisiny kind of like date smell on it.
Oh, heavy,
Like,
yeah.
like yeah, it's just it's got all those like wonderful like chocolate notes to it, like real
Yeah.
light Java.
It's really good, but I think
don't
the
get like
river
a
salt
Java.
barrels that we had the last time blended it better.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you get
I think I agree.
that deep.
This is good, but
that
it's not.
deep
It
red
is.
wine taste.
There's like a
It
tinny
definitely-
metallic taste.
That's
at the
what
end
I
of
was
it.
thinking too. I'm
Yeah.
almost
That
wondering
could be
if
that could be the bottle cap. You never know.
it's honestly.
Or
Yeah, you're
if
right, I
it's
taste
if it's
that now.
brewed with like a well water or something.
I taste
I've
that
seen
now
notes
that
of
you
that
said
come
that.
through.
Really?
before.
It's really
You've
strange.
tasted this with well water.
Look at the lid, the way
No,
the
if it's brewed with well
inside
water.
of the cap's kind of.
So a lot of like well water or harder waters have a metallic taste to them.
Yeah, but
if
not
that's what it's brewed
typically
with.
for
Oh, it'll come through
darker
the brew.
beers, really.
See the
It can.
Okay.
It can.
see the
I don't
lid there,
think this
Brew?
is from that, but
Kind of eating away there.
Yeah, this is.
Might be right.
It's still really good. This actually, you get the kind of like the smoky soy sauce type characteristic that
Yeah.
that Dark Lord is kind of famous for. There's a lot of
I kind of like
that kind of soy sauce note.
Yeah.
It still tastes really good, but there's definitely something just the tiniest bit off.
I think it's like an upfront punch without like a
Yeah.
lot of not a smooth back end to it.
Yeah. The aftertaste is really nice and smoky though.
Yeah.
But yeah, this
I can hear a plane.
Yeah, but the river salt was smooth. I remember tasting
yeah.
that and it was smooth all the way through.
well, I mean, I've got a lot more variants. I'll
So when does
I'll bring
the
you
smoke
some other
come in
variants.
for you? It's late.
It's definitely on the end.
It's really on the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah,
Almost to
not
the
really
next
in the
sip,
nose,
though,
yeah.
on the end.
kind of like that smoked soy sauce kind of taste.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
Oh, that sounds good. Smoked soy sauce.
yeah, try it. I don't know. I it's still very enjoyable. I've never had anything Three Floyds makes that was disappointing, to be honest with
Right.
you.
And the art is awesome.
Yeah, their art is
It is.
fantastic.
Yeah, that is an
The
amazing
bottle is amazing.
Yeah.
And this, I think, was the first year they were doing the bottle wraps. It's kind of like a
It
like
don't
a
even
shrink
feel like
wrap.
a wrap.
no.
And normally it's like got the kind of just traditional label on the front. The wrap is cool though because it wraps the whole bottle and
Quit rubbing the bottle, American.
it adds another light
pretty
barrier to
gross.
it too because it's wrapped all the way up to the wax, so you're getting even less light into that dark
Health
barrel.
protected. and
Yep.
aged
Yeah.
well.
Because
Yeah, there
lights.
is zero transparency.
No, we are in this bottle.
Oh,
that's for sure.
This thing is dark.
Solid black.
It matches their aesthetic. They've got that kind of
yeah.
like death metal, black
I
metal
mean,
aesthetic.
even in the head of it, that little bit of headspace towards the top, it's still dark as hell.
Yeah, I brought this bottle to take to play D&D with the boys later, but we decided it was better drank here.
Oh, boy.
I can go home and get another one. It's fine.
I'll follow you home.
Yeah. Well, I had a gentleman who donated a lot of beer to the podcast for us to try. We actually tried one of his beers.
That was Jeff?
Yep, it was Jeff. Yeah, he
Cheers to you again, Mr.
Thank you,
Jeff.
Jeff.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jeff.
he came in with a 4-pack of Bell's Black Note, and he's like, "Well, you want it? I'd trade you for some." And he's like, "I've never tried Dark Lord." And yeah, I'll bring you some Dark Lord. And so I grabbed a couple bottles out of my collection, and I realized I grabbed it was a 2018, and I'm like, Black Note's pretty good, but I don't know if I want to give up a 2018. I think I'm going to keep this one for Jim.
You should bring this to DD later and just tell him, oh, wow, the lip must have cracked out and drained out.
Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, I've got plenty. Well, and then again, my friend that we're playing D&D at his house also has some vintage Dark Lords. He actually had it was a 2017 Chemtrail mix, which is a variant of Dark Lord that is one of our favorites. It's got
Sounds
like
intriguing as hell.
it's like it's got like cinnamon. It's almost kind of like an apple pie kind of flavor to it, and it's absolutely wonderful. I've
The
got
last beer we had last week was very,
Is it
very
warm?
high in cinnamon.
Warm apple pie?
don't get it started.
You said apple pie.
We're
I was
not
asking
going
if
to
it was
dissolve into
warm
this already,
apple
are we?
pie.
No, room temperature. Room temperature. That's the best way to serve it.
That's just as good.
Apple pie is the best.
Jesus, Murphy.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
a big fan. I've
That's too easy drinking. Like I could drink a lot of this.
15%.
Holy crap, really?
That's what I was going to ask next. I couldn't see it on there. I couldn't remember either. what
There's
you
no
said.
way in hell that's 15%.
That is
Yeah.
Doesn't taste
damn
like it at
easy
all.
for 15%.
Wow.
That's why I go every year. I'm never gonna miss a year of Dark Lord.
Now,
That's,
the Utopias, you could taste the 26%.
That was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that was like 3 weeks ago.
So
Yeah.
28 weeks
Yeah.
ago.
So tell us about
Many
this,
months ago.
Dark
We're
Lord.
still feeling the effects from that episode.
Tell us about this release date and when we should be there if we want to get some of our own.
so it's typically usually May, like late May, early June.
I heard there's a wheel you can pay $25 to have him spin.
Yes. If you spin the wheel, everyone wins. You get, at least last year it was vintage variants or vintage Dark Lords. And if you get really lucky, you get to pick 3 vintage variants, which, but they also have a line that you could wait in. And last year it was, I think, $85 and you got 2 vintage variants and 2 vintage Dark Lords.
No matter what, there's no cutoff.
Yeah. I think I bought 2 allotments of that, plus the allotments you get with your ticket. The tickets are usually $200 unless you buy the VIP ones, and those go on sale a couple months prior. It's always random. I don't know when, but they finally started. If you were at the previous year, now you get priority to buy them first.
Yeah, hopefully we can get that link on the podcast.
I will not share
No, I
that.
was saying, I don't think any of us want that.
I'm going to Dark Lord Day with the boys, and I think we should take a podcast trip to Dark Lord Day. I think you boys should come.
At least take donations and at least get Daryl there, right?
Oh, he's
I agree on
definitely
that
come
one, for sure.
Oh,
you
but
know.
fuck the other guy. Thanks.
Oh, I guess we should have the other guy. He's running
Well,
equipment.
sorry, boss.
I've said it before too. Like the coming home with the beer is great, but like the whole festival is, it's a metal concert, but it's also a big bottle share. Everyone is bringing bottles from out of state and from around the country, and you just stand around holding your bottle, and people will walk by your group and they'll be like, "Oh, that's interesting. Do you want to try this?" Yeah, and they pour you some, you pour them some, and
So it's kind of a beer swinger orgy.
yeah, basically.
That's cool.
And most of the people there, like everyone there is into good beer, and then a lot of people
like
there are into
orgies.
metal. So, yeah, I mean, you might want to wear your clothes to this one. Then again, I've seen some things. Shout out to Beezy, the Dark Lord legend. This girl is, oh my God, the stories I could tell you about Beezy. My God,
Wait, good stories or bad stories?
depends on your
Hey,
perspective.
real quick, you're a married man, so we'll wait on these stories.
Oh no, they're not stories that involve me whatsoever. But she's made herself famous, or infamous rather, in the Dark Lord community as like the only person who's banned from the festival because of her antics. But like, yeah,
Could be a good time. We'll talk
drugs,
later.
nudity,
Drugs, I'm out.
public urination, all sorts of fun stuff. So,
Sounds exciting.
so if you're listening to this, BZ, shout out.
Still probably won't text
I'm
me
not
back.
sure if I want to join, but I send me a link.
Oh, dude, I met her the first year I went to Dark Lord Day. The lines like to get your allotments were super long, and I happened to be in line next to her. And this was before she was kind of a known commodity. And I remember, like, in the first 30 seconds of talking to this girl, she's talking about it. She's like, "Oh, I do porn, and I did this, that, and the other." And she's like, "Have you seen this meme?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm familiar with that meme." She's like, "Yeah,
I
that's my
search that meme
ass."
every time I text.
Oh my God! If only you know what? I won't say anything negative, but man, the antics that would ensue in years following, I can tell you, the podcast is rated for adults, but I think that is even a little bit out of our
That's
scope.
the after show.
Yeah, right.
But yeah,
Late
One of
night.
those here yet. Yeah.
but
Maybe we'll
very
have a late night.
but famous nonetheless.
So now with all the specialty beers we've been trying, we started talking
Over the
about
last few weeks.
over the last months now. We started talking about doing our own.
Yes.
Yes,
So we still interested in that?
I would
hell
love
yeah.
to do a high gravity podcast brew day. It'll be a real interesting scope. So probably it's obviously got to be something big.
Yeah.
Got to be a big beer.
So we're gonna have to work on putting it together, and we'll let everyone know what's in it, why we chose those grains.
I like it.
We'll have to get a barrel for it. We'll have to set a date
I would like that.
for the party.
And will members get a first taste?
Well, yeah, hopefully.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
At least be able to buy one bottle.
So first taste will come to anyone that's watching and downloads the podcast.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Nice.
And how do you do that to make sure that you do it right?
So anywhere you go to listen to your podcast, be it
Like
Apple,
beanflicker.com. Or I mean,
Podbean.
Now this is pod racing.
Podbean.
So Google, Apple, Amazon, Podchaser. There's 5 or 6 other websites. Pretty much wherever you can find a podcast. We're on iHeartRadio.
I mean, if they're listening to this, they
Pandora.
found
Make sure you
Oh, yeah,
subscribe.
obviously. Yeah.
So it's to make sure you subscribe, right?
Yep, subscribe, like, share, comment, leave a 5-star review.
It's one
Yeah, if you
avenue.
leave less than 5-star, you're not invited.
One avenue we're not
I'll
tackling
have to
though
change
is YouTube.
mine.
I feel like we need a presence on YouTube. That's the one place I think.
So
we're lacking.
apparently, I think it's Google Podcast is going away, and I think they're going to merge that with YouTube Music.
Okay.
So once you figure that dynamic out with the hosting service, we'll be there.
I mean, yeah, we can always just double back and upload the audio just straight to YouTube.
Oh yeah. It's just, I mean, yeah, we could.
With our logo. I think because for me, like that's the only way I consume podcasts is through YouTube.
This is
so.
the weird thing about that. So the other show that I did, we did this for 3 years, and for about 6 months of that, we did YouTube. We did video. There are 6 months worth of us doing podcasts and on video. And it was pretty cool. We had like a green screen in the back that we put different logos on. So if we interviewed a company, we put their logo up on the screen. And what we found was nobody was watching it. They were still listening to it. Because in the beginning, everyone was like, oh, get on YouTube, get on YouTube, get on YouTube. So we did.
What do you
And then
expect?
nobody
Look at
listened
us.
to it. Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Oh, that was still
at
me
least
with the other
1 out
guy.
of 5 of it is handsome.
Now.
Oh, yeah, no one's
It
going to
will
watch
happen.
that.
It will happen.
No, so it's funny because it's been probably 2.5 years since then. And now everyone's like, oh, are you on YouTube? I'm like, it's a podcast. That podcast is audio. YouTube is video.
I think it's a transition period, though.
Oh, it is.
I'm not sure if YouTube is the thing anymore. It was, but
Well, I think that's mostly coming from the perspective that the largest podcast in the world, Joe Rogan, left YouTube for reasons because Spotify paid him an insane amount of money.
Dude, they did with a couple
But
shows, yeah.
pretty much every stand-up comedian, in his circle and who have followed suit, all of their podcasts are on YouTube. I
Yeah.
mean, like Bert Kreischer, Theo Vaughn.
but for the name though, YouTube, everybody knows YouTube.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
ubiquitous.
think it really.
And for the ones that
I'll
still
look into
work
it a
full
little
time,
High gravity
not
is
like
gonna make
Daryl,
it.
he drinks full time.
I mean, even if there's no
We have to
Quality
listen to
control.
it. So.
I was gonna say it's called product, quality control. But yeah.
but it
Yeah,
would
we have to listen to it.
It'd
though.
also
We're
be
at
fun
work.
to people to
And
be
we
able to
just have
see
to
us if
listen.
we wanted them to. That might be fun one day. Maybe one day.
I don't know.
Listen, I'm a handsome motherfucker. I need to get that out there.
We need some
You're
girl
married.
gas
You don't
is
need to
what
get
we
that
need.
out.
You do have a nice beard.
Thank you. My wife makes me trim it. It used to be better, but
Yeah, that's probably
Hey, Wayne.
perfect. That's right. I agree with her.
I like about nipple length.
I had a
this
beard.
time,
I had a
I
beard
like
once.
Nipples too. I like nipples too.
I had a beard once. Did you guys know this?
No.
It looks like it.
He looked like an Iranian. Can I say this?
You say whatever you want.
Fuck it, who cares?
He looked like an
already
Iranian
said it.
terrorist.
All right, so picture.
Jesus.
All right, I'm gonna take a. So
I'll
picture,
find the
picture
picture.
me here. If I have the beard and I get rid of the hair, I look like an Amish terrorist. And people where I used to work would call me like, dude, I cut my hair one day and I left the beard. Like, you look like an Amish terrorist. Like, what the hell
Is there a such?
Yeah, apparently, dude. There's an Amish mafia. That shit's real.
Oh boy.
But yeah,
I've
so
seen the
make you eat
scripted
soap.
television
yeah,
show.
from that point forward, I have to. When I cut my hair, I got to shave.
I'm gonna show these guys what I look like
When you woke up
in a beard in the morning.
Oh my gosh. You have to send that to.
No, I like it.
And then I'm gonna
I like
show them
it.
what I look like when I first
That's
got
definitely gotta get
my beard
posted.
shaved.
That looks
My-
like
my
a
beard
finally
trimmed.
experienced brewer.
No,
in that
I think
picture.
it looks great.
after a long night.
This was after 13 months. I got my beard.
No, that's fantastic.
Trimmed.
I think you've got much more like a Nick Offerman Santa Claus
I'm
combination.
just gonna say that looks like a filter.
I think it's fantastic.
It's no filter.
Grow it again. That is an
I
incredible
hear
beard.
that a lot.
I'm
I hear that a
debating what
lot.
I'm gonna do with this because it's starting to annoy me and it catches on the zippers of my jackets and hoodies.
I hear you, dude. It's a lot of
Dude,
work.
it's
It
annoying.
is.
You know when you have to start eating hamburgers with a fork and knife? It's a lot of work.
Yeah,
I would never fall to
soups
that
and
depravity of
sandwiches-
disrespecting
Soups and
beef belly,
sandwiches
no.
are a pain with the mustache, but you know what? I just power through it. I just get my beard all dirty, and then when I'm done, I clean it out. Like
it's the flavor saver.
It's called
Exactly.
leftovers. You save it for later.
Thank
I
you.
hear that too.
You know, you're on the way home, and your wife hears you. What are you doing? I'm sucking the flavor out of my mustache. Don't judge me.
I'm just saying.
What is wrong with you?
I know, right?
Normally,
hear
you're
you on
savoring it
that.
from the night before, though.
Aged food.
It's you know.
Aged flavor.
Back to how we
And
make
I'm
yeast.
the degenerate, right? Like it's me. I'm the DJ.
You started it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I quoted a
I'm
song.
okay with where it went.
And in case no one heard, back to how we make yeast.
We're not going to get into that story.
You know, actually, I do have a funny story about that.
That's why it came from his beard.
I can't remember if I told this before, but we were my entire team piled
I so
into
wish
an
everybody
elevator one day.
was-
You know, there's like 15 of us in this elevator, and
Does anyone else want this?
and
I
one
feel bad killing
drink
all
the
these
damn beer.
bottles. I don't want to kill it all myself.
It's a
I mean,
giant
I will.
bottle. It's a giant bottle. So there's like 15 of us that pile in this elevator, and we all know each other. We're all on the same team at work. And then there's one woman who got on the elevator from, who knows where. And someone had asked me a similar question about like how yeast makes beer, how you save yeast, this, that, and the other. And I'm talking to them, and then there's this silence, and this woman in the back
I
that
didn't
we
want
don't
to let
know,
that drop fall down. I'm
just
sorry.
out of nowhere,
Good
just
man,
so
good man.
as a woman, I know a lot about yeast.
Wait a second here. I missed some of this because he was licking the bottle.
I know.
And I come back and you said, as a woman.
Yeah.
So
No, I'm not repeating the rest of the
You
story.
wonder why the twins keep coming back.
You're just gonna have to listen to the podcast to hear the
I'm
fucking
going to
story
have to
now.
because I missed a ton. And then you said,
Y'all
as
a bunch
woman.
of drunks.
Hey, guys, next time we're not opening the door. This is it. We're done.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me again.
This
Apparently.
third time.
Yeah, the
But
third
wait,
time.
what if they bring beer next time?
Shit.
Yeah.
All right, beer.
We'll let them in. We'll let them in.
Yeah, you got to bring some of that meta brew. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, for sure.
But so, how do we feel about the Dark Lord? Let's now that we've let it
Oh,
sit
so
a
we
little
just
bit.
skipped over the.
I told you, you're gonna have to listen to the podcast.
We're
if
going
you want to
back
hear
to the
that
whole
story.
point of the show is the beer.
Good idea.
I will
Good
say the
idea.
Dark Lords, though, I've liked everything you've ever brought in.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is.
The
Yeah.
variant,
I'm trying to
River
get
Salt
phenomenal.
was my favorite, but this is
trying to
really
get my
good.
composure back.
This is probably the better of the two, mellowed out and even than everything we've had today.
Yeah,
or over the last few weeks.
Probably the least amount of alcohol we've had, too.
We've had a lot of really like kind of unique and interesting beers, and this one's kind of the first. Just it's straight up. It's a Russian Imperial Stout. It's what it is. It's
Yeah.
not like
It's a good one.
The Russian Imperial spout was your second podcast.
No, that was
Fourth.
the
I believe that was
fourth
the
or
fourth.
fifth.
So this
Yeah.
comes
Third or
up
fourth.
again, and this is our.
Pretty sure that was number 4.
Yeah, this is actually
So-
the same year. This is the
You would-
base one for that variant that
You
we
would
had.
call this a Russian one too, right?
Oh yeah, this is still a Riss. Yep.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, the other one was this exact beer, but aged in fortified French wine barrels.
I feel like an idiot because I just realized what RIS stands for.
Yep, Russian Imperial Stout, RIS. Yeah,
I never connected those dots. I feel like
really
a dumbass.
interesting
No, don't.
sour.
You're good.
I'm gonna have to go back to the podcast and find out what makes a Russian Imperial spout.
It was
Mr.
actually
Darrell did a wonderful
it was actually
explanation.
brewed up-
You know,
brewed in
stout or
Europe.
spout doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, there's a
Stout.
good story to that. Yeah, there is.
You have to go back and listen.
Yeah,
Episode 4 or 5, whatever it was.
Because it was a really good. You described it very well, and I'm interested now. Now that you said it twice.
You know what I thought of? Next time we have twins, they need to be girls.
What do you mean by after?
I'm
we have
okay with
twins?
that.
When we have twins,
Next time we have twins here.
Would you like our shirts off?
Please no.
I mean,
Because if you do it, I'm going to have to do it, and nobody wants to see that.
is that an option? Like, oh no,
Oh shit! Here it goes.
yes.
Daryl, I'm sorry.
What is happening? Why is everyone taking their shirts? I'm not taking
those
my
twins
shirt
have their shirts off.
off. Yep, I'm taking a picture of everyone here.
Gary, I'm sorry I told you I'd never do it, but I lied.
Oh boy.
It's not my fault.
It's gonna be hard to get those things back on either.
Here's to you, the surreal, gorgeous beauty of the everyday, the unsung hero who conquers every damn day like a moth to the flame. You who gets up before the crack of dawn with the resolve of a marathon runner and the grace of a ballet dancer. You who takes on the world with a fortitude unfathomable, a spirit unquenchable, and a humor unmatchable. You who laughs in the face of adversity, dances in the deluge, sings in the storm. Yes, you, the titan of tenacity, the paragon of perseverance, the epitome of endurance. You, who after a day of battling the odds, of facing the world, of conquering the mundane and the extraordinary, you sit down, you kick off your shoes, and you grab a beer. Not just any beer, but a craft beer, a concoction of love, dedication, and a touch of madness, just like you. So here's to you, the real hero, the surreal, gorgeous beauty of the everyday. This one's for you. Crack open that bottle, take that well-deserved sip, and remember, you're the reason why this craft beer tastes so damn good.
Please put your clothes back on. I know our listeners can't see this.
That's a lot of work, Daryl.
There's no rules. Put your shirt back on. There's one rule.
We are still inside a brewery, and there's windows.
It is getting hot in here.
It's only getting hot.
You just
here
said it's
because of
getting
the
hot in
alcohol
here. You know what
consumption.
the rest of the song says.
I am getting too hot. Oh my God. Man, it's almost like we are professional podcasters with a professional agenda that we adhere to very strictly.
Did we do? Was this the second one this episode?
No, this is just
let you
one.
know-
We are just drinking Dark Lord.
Just want to let you know it was Brew or Erin White that started that.
Hey, I warned y'all. If you do it, I'll do it.
That's why I did it.
I left my shirt and clothes on.
I took off my
We're taking
pants.
pants off now?
Yeah.
Oh no, I ain't playing that game. not with guys.
The American Idol guy that sang that way back, I think when they started off, was Pants on the Ground, right?
Pants on the ground. Pants on the ground. Look at the
Never heard
put
it?
your pants on the ground.
Of course, he never took his pants off, but
Oh, well, that's just false advertising then.
yeah, oh, for sure.
Listen, you can find plenty of that on the internet.
Oh yeah.
You don't, yeah. You can just
There's
find it.
anything for any taste and flavor on the internet.
So I've got a friend who like he likes watching like shitty B or C movies, if you really want to call it that. Like, and he'll get upset. It's like, well, there's no nudity in this, and I'm like, dude, you have the internet. Like, just Google nudity and you can just find it. He's like, it's different when it's a surprise, and I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. They'll spend 3 hours watching a shitty movie just to see one nipple and be like, yes, it was there. I was like, what are you,
But you
15?
just go to Google and turn safe search off, and you can get everything.
So I'm starting to feel that every third episode we should just skip.
Or so what we do, what we used to do in the last show.
Mix them up.
No, we did 2 shows and then an after show.
So
So the after show we charged for.
so I still smell the raisiny
Yeah, from the beer.
type of
Right.
And that's how we're going to segue
My glass
back
is
to
empty,
the
but I
Back to the beer.
and
Back to the beer.
it still tastes
I've
the
noticed
same way.
that's generally
For
a
me.
theme with Dark Lord that I found is it does have that kind of like that dried fruit kind of smell, that raisin.
It's consistent.
date.
And it's a
yes,
it's a
good.
I don't know.
It's fantastic.
From the last
Was
couple of shows, this is the first beer that's kind of tasted what I smelt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It stands up to like what you expect.
Like
It's
before with the other ones, I smelt something, but tasted something different.
Yeah.
That was still in the ingredients, but
It's wild how that happens
You
with
know,
beer.
I
Anything you're
smelled
drinking.
something
When
different.
when you take the scent and the nose profile of something,
Yeah.
then you drink it cold. But then you do the whole process again when it's warm, and it's a totally different temperature.
right, maybe that's
yeah.
what it is. Yeah,
and this
maybe
this
that's what
beer's
it is.
been sitting in my backpack in my car for a couple hours, so it was just at that right temperature where
Yeah.
it's cool but closer to room temperature. And
Yeah.
for a stout this big, it just gets better with time.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
But Dark Lord, anytime we bring out a bottle of Dark Lord, ever since the first bottle show I ever went to, like, it's always one of those beers that everyone's like, oh, I need a pour. And I remember at first not knowing what it was until I had it, and then I kept having it, and I'm like, oh my God, these guys,
this
they
is
continue
fantastic.
to fuck. Like, they never let you
I've
down.
never been into bourbon barrels, but I must have been buying the wrong ones. These are the best ones I've ever tasted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Bourbon, I like bourbon. Anything bourbon barrel is just, it's good. I like it.
Anything with alcohol in the glass.
That too. Except that shall not be named.
I've had
It's
some
not
bourbon
real
barrels that are, controversial opinion, too bourbony. Like, because when I drink a bourbon barrel, I want bourbon and beer. I want both. But if I drink something that's just like all bourbon, all wood, and then some beer.
That's based off of what they actually use it.
So what's the
for
secret
wood.
behind?
Sometimes they need to age though.
Yeah, what's the
Too
secret
young.
behind brewing a bourbon barrel type of
An actual
beer?
barrel.
Time.
It's
An actual
time.
barrel and
Time
time.
is it?
Yep.
So I mean,
And a fresh
you're not
barrel.
adding you're not adding bourbon to it necessarily. You're
No.
just
So
As
you're
a
just
home
taking
brewer,
absorbing the taste of
you're
the barrel,
taking a
right?
barrel that's aged bourbon.
Yeah.
So
And
they
you're
take
And the
charred
fresher
barrel.
you get it, the better.
Yes, it's gone through that
Well, yeah,
aging
first
process
cycle,
of
right?
expansion, contraction,
And so,
absorbing,
how long
releasing.
do we allow it to absorb that?
A minimum of
varies.
at least a year to drink.
I would say, like
minimum.
in the barrel,
Yeah.
I've done 6 months was like the shortest barrel
Yeah.
period. And
Some of it depends
still
on
comes
volume,
out really
too.
good.
So, is there secrets to where you buy your barrels?
It
Do you
depends
talk-
on what
brewers
scale you're
talk
brewing.
about where
Yeah.
they buy their barrels, or do they
what
want to
flavor
talk
do you want?
about
So
where they buy their barrels?
Again,
What kind
it
of
comes
bourbon do you
down
like to drink?
comes down to the size of the barrel.
Yeah.
So if you do a smaller barrel with a smaller volume of liquid, it's going to age that through the barrel faster. Larger barrel takes longer.
based on surface space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it depends what you want to go for. It's a sampling process.
And char
So
matters too, right? I mean, you got to know what the barrel's charred at.
It does,
it does.
but that's more so effective to the bourbon. To
Yeah,
the beer,
okay. I like-
it's still there, but keep
That's
in
good to
mind
know.
it's a used
When I homebrew,
used barrel.
when I homebrew and I do a barrel beer like that, I use medium.
It's most
toast.
people will use like
And
a
I
medium
don't use
toast.
And
any
haven't
more
you
than that.
used a little spiral type
I would
of...
say, yep.
It is
That's
the
cheating.
spirals.
You can do that.
Yep.
It's kind of
It
cheating.
is the spirals because
It
when I
gives
do,
you it gives you the quality, but you can't call it a barrel age.
It's
But it gives you the same quality.
that's more of a time saver because
Yes.
you
But when
take
I've
that,
done
there's
the
more
chips-
surface area. It gives you that
So if
exposure.
you can't get a hold of a barrel,
when I've
you
done
can
the
like that'd
chips,
be the second option, right?
Yeah.
when
you
I've
do
done the chips, it's too
woody.
too
The
much.
spirals, I think, are good
Yeah.
compared to chips.
Well, and it's a
or
time
the
thing.
staves or
Yeah.
whatever they call those things, stabs or staves.
Staves.
You have to find that exact right time because in the barrel there's less surface area than the spirals
Yeah.
or
Which
the
is why it
chunks or
takes
things.
longer.
Yeah.
So and then there's even processes where they use like electrolysis to
yeah,
to
I
So
was
change
gonna
someone
mention that.
someone that
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily like bourbon barrel type of beers, and they've tried it
Don't do it.
before, what should they try to change their mind?
Some of these big beers.
That's a good one.
Bourbon Barrel Aged Dark Lord is a great place
Yeah.
to start if you can
So
find
you
it.
would have to start at a big one.
So
you don't start cheap. You start big.
I'll answer that with kind of another point to it, and then it doesn't help make the decision easier. Time is a huge factor in that. So if you take something that you've aged it
Time
in a
and
barrel,
how long they age it in the barrel?
so how long it's aged after it's bottled?
Yes.
So after you bottle something, it bottle matures. It takes a little bit of time before it kind of settles and becomes its own
It's
thing.
like aging wine or
Yes,
anything else.
exactly. The longer it sits, it's going to change. So any of these beers we've had today in 2 years, 3 years,
mellows
5 years,
more than
Well,
change. It
exactly.
mellows.
For instance, do you
a lot
want
of
to talk
that,
about SOB? How long did you age SOB? At least,
SOB's 10 months.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking.
And we talked, SOB was
that's almost
episode
a
1.
year
Did we
Yeah.
try that?
But then it's also
Yeah.
then the
just to get it to
the
where.
keg conditioning kicks in.
Yes.
Like once you keg it, like it's
Exactly.
still going to
so you
evolve in
take
that keg.
when
So
you
that's the
when
minimum.
they
Yeah.
first tap that keg, you come back in a month or two. If you remember what it was in the beginning, you'll notice subtle changes
Yeah.
throughout.
Yeah, it was when we tasted it fresh. Like you got just straight up barrel. You got
yeah.
that bourbon. It was good.
It was very heavy.
But then after it,
And
it
it's
sits in a
mellowed out a
keg
little
and mellows.
bit.
This is
Yeah.
good stuff because I didn't enjoy bourbon barrel. I always thought it was crazy for my brother to, we got to get this bourbon barrel. Go buy.
And how long did it take me to brew that one bourbon
And
barrel? It's 6 months.
Trying the bourbon barrels in the last 3 weeks.
And
Well,
that's
the best bourbon barrels I've ever had.
if you notice it. So if you try it and you notice it's a very woody, wood dominant profile, age it.
Yeah.
Let it
Yep.
sit.
Okay.
Let it relax. Let some of that stuff mellow out. Some of the strength in that's going to wear off a little bit, and that really strong upfront wood is going to just mellow out.
So at a minimum, you would want to buy 2
Excuse me.
of a good
for
bourbon
sure.
barrel
Anytime.
to
Yeah.
try it. If not, 6 if you can afford it.
I mean,
Age,
yeah.
age half of them, yeah. If you,
You
can't
know, dedicate a part to your basement. You can age some out. You
Hide
can
'em.
stage
Hide
them and
'em.
aging. And I know people that do this. I'm only half joking about this.
No, I hide them because if
Yeah.
I hide them and I find them later, at least I had to look for them because.
Yeah, oh yeah.
No, you're good.
Oh,
I love that nobody gets that. They just know what we're laughing. I love it.
Mike etiquette.
But yeah, so you buy them.
I like to hide them so when I find them, they're aged perfectly.
Yeah. So there's a place that I've talked about it before. I get some discount clearance beers because it's a partnership that this particular sales place has with another liquor store in the city. That city buys a 4-pack, 6-pack, they'll sell them and price them individually. And then when they get quote unquote old, they blow them out on clearance. They bring them to this other store to get rid of them. I'm one of the main guys that buys them all because they'll bring this stuff
I
in.
know where you buy them now.
I don't know if you know about that one.
Oh,
Scandalous.
I don't know if I told you that location.
He told me earlier, but I don't even know if I remember.
That was a different place for that. This is a whole different place. But I get bottles of like meads and really good beers that have $20, $30, $40 price tags. I pay $1 or $2 a bottle. And they're aged. They're like 5 years old, 10,
No
6
one
years
wants them
old.
when they're that old.
Exactly. In the city. Because
Most often they're wrong.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I'm okay
Too
with that because
better.
I know what I'm buying. And I'll go in there, $1 or $2 a bottle. I'm buying 5, 6
so
cases
bourbon
at a time.
barrels. When you see something that's a year or 2 or 3 years old and it's got dust,
It's
on
already
it,
got that time.
Essentially, the
Yep.
older the better.
you do want
Yeah.
to buy
Yep.
them.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Any of those. So
As long as they're stored properly.
yes.
For cheap, too.
Any
You talk them into that.
strong, heavy beers, they're going to have such dominant characteristics, a lot of the ingredients or the barrels that go into it. Again, when you first taste that brand new bottle of that bourbon barrel aged beer, you're drinking wood.
Yeah, drink a fresh bottle of KBS and then
You
drink one
wait
that's
a
2
couple
years old.
years,
It's
and
totally
it's
different.
mellowed out, and it's that tone is
The
changed.
tannins are a lot harsher.
Exactly. They relax.
Yeah.
They don't really fall out, but it just takes that long to age those oils out to relax those into
They
it.
drank all of it.
And it becomes just a better beer.
Well, it looks like we're out of beer, out of time.
Dark Lord out of time.
Damn it, not again.
It's great having the twins as a
thank you.
guest again.
Thanks for
Absolutely.
inviting us.
You show up next week. I'm not opening the door.
It's been a good time. Thank you guys for joining us
Thank you
again.
so much.
And we'll hope to have you back in the future.
See ya.
See ya.
If you didn't learn anything today, at least remember this. Beer is the answer that makes everything better.
Can't remember the question, but who cares when you have a cold one in your hand?
Remember, everybody, drink responsibly, drink high gravity.
Most importantly, drink well.
Okay, not the well. Life's too short for bad beers.
Stay frothy, my friends.